Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we are taking a look at, from the Transformers Robots in Disguise Combiner Force subline. This is Galvatronus. Galvatronus is a 5-robot combiner. It's sold as a set. As of right now, this is the third and quite possibly final combiner set we will be getting from the Combiner Force subline of Robots in Disguise, subline of Transformers, and all that good stuff. And it consists of Cyclonus here in the middle, Treadshock, which is the green and purple little four-wheeled vehicle, Cyberwarp, which is the bluish turquoise bluish gray hovercraft with the yellow accents. And then you have Riot Gear, which is the purple with red accents four-wheeled vehicle, and Skyjack, the blue and turquoise, but with bluish gray with green accents hovercraft type vehicle. If you've seen my reviews on the previous combiner force combiners, you basically know that these are limited articulation figures with very simple transformations that basically, the combined robot mode of Galvatronus is the main focal point. So, we'll get started, and we will begin our look with Cyberwarp and Skyjack. Cyberwarp and Skyjack are the exact same vehicle, just painted differently, but they do feature different heads. Transformation is very simple. What you want to do is come in the front here, flip down the whole section so you keep the nose cone facing front. Then what you want to do is flip the nose cone forward slightly, drop it out of your hand, then proceed to flip it up on this double joint. There is a tab there that will slot into the front of the main fuselage. Then go ahead and detach the arms, and then swing them back ever so slightly, bringing the arms forward on a ball joint. It's nice that this time, at least with these, the arms swing forward, and then go ahead and swing back this main section until it this panel will just sit on top of these connects the arms. And this is Cyberwarp, and that's the head right there. Very nice. If you gotta kind of finagle with that panel to get the head up right, do the same thing on this side. The transformation, of course, is not that difficult. I wish the heads worked a little bit better with this back panel. The instructions actually tell you to fold the panel back first, but since it's supposed to sit on top of these bits right here, I say save it to do it last. And here is Skyjack's head. So you can tell there is a very slight difference in the molding of the crests, which of course are not painted. So they do form the arms. So to get into that transformation, now the instructions really aren't clear about this part. If you look in the inside of the arm here, there are two little slots. This slot right here, which basically makes up the fist hole, that's for vehicle mode. This secondary slot is for combine mode, and you want to just basically swing the arms back and peg these slots in, the arms into those tabs, bring the feet back down, fold down the head while finagling with the little flap here, and this will form the arm. He really doesn't, Galvatronus doesn't have real hands. He has claws, which we will get to and discuss in a moment. On mine, the flap here is a little loose. You do it again here on Skyjack. Get those bits in. Now, as of this recording, I have not seen the final episode, but apparently Cyclonus does show up, so there's a good possibility we will see Galvatronus as the final combiner. But there you have the arms done. Nice and neat, easy peasy. So let's take a look at the legs next. That'll be riot gear and tread shock. And here's tread shock and riot gear. As I said before, tread shock has the green accents, riot gear has the red. Transformation to robot mode, very simple. Flip it up the front, spread the arms out. Boom. At least the Stunticons had a bit that flipped around in the front. But this is it. But like I said, very simple transformations. The combining and the combine mode is the main focus. So you want to get into the legs, go back to vehicle mode, come underneath, flip these shin pieces around, flip the front of the vehicle forward until it kind of hard frictions into place. Not really audible, but there you go. And there you have the legs done. You know, I did forget to show off the heads, which I could do right here since they do form the toes. Basically, it's the same thing as Skyjack and Cyberwarp, just different design crests. Maybe if there's a little more paint picking them out, it'd be a little bit better. But there you go. So those are the legs. It is what it is. Let's get on to Cyclonus. Since it forms the torso, Cyclonus is a little bit more involved, but still not that difficult. Also, Cyclonus can hold Galvatronus' weapon in vehicle mode. There is a tab here that will peg into the rear section there. Very nice, soft animation style version of the classic vehicle. As of right now, the only other version of Cyclonus available is a Legion class toy, which really hasn't hit saturation or even been seen in the States yet. So hopefully that'll come sooner than later. Transformation is very, very simple. First thing what you want to do is you can separate the wings. They tab into the area that will be the shoulders. Next, come around the back here, and basically you're going to separate these whole sections, straighten out what will be the arms, rotate these panels down. They will just friction stop when they get to that place. Cyclonus' head is visible right here, as you can see. It is on a spring for other reasons, which we'll get to. Go ahead and bring the arms down. That will reveal Cyclonus' Decepticon symbol and all that stuff. Keep the arms fairly straight. Go ahead, rotate the hips around. Turn the figure back over, or you can do this beforehand. Now the instructions show to leave this flap down loose like this, giving him a butt flap. What I recommend is, since it's on the hinge, go ahead, flip it up all the way. First of all, it frees up the legs, and second of all, covers up the Galvatronus head. Come back around here, separate the legs, rotate them forward, just like so, and then with the toes here on a double joint, go ahead, bring them up, and they will peg into place sort of on the lower leg here. Actually, they don't really peg in. It's like the hole there is not that deep, and it does like to hold it in. So just like that, there you go. And then come up, bring the arms down, and of course we've I almost forgot a very important part. Separate the legs, hit the button that will flip forward the Galvatronus head, but I did that off camera, so it doesn't count. You got to keep hitting that button. Gotta love the spring loaded. At least on mine, the spring catches. So you got the arms down. Let's make sure those legs are in place. This is actually the trickiest part, and I hate this kind of leg transformation because it does make it very difficult to balance the figure, and I am still hitting the damn button. Let me make sure I got the legs right. You know, it's like there's no locking or anything. It's just friction. And then, oh, you see? Then that came down. So now this one comes down. And then, yeah, there we go. I think I got it. You know what? It's not even going to stand. Unfortunately, Galvatronus, where you would expect this would be like the figure, you know, it would have all the bells and whistles. It's still just a typical, you know, by the numbers combiner. The lack of heels does make it rather difficult to stand. But, so yeah, I guess I could spread the legs a little. That'll help a little. Alright, but you know what? We're going to go straight into the combine mode. This actually isn't that difficult to do. Leave the legs as they are. Turn them around. I'm going to hit that button. I'll show you how to hit that button. And try not to hit the button so you can leave the face reveal for the end. And then basically what you're going to do is bring the arms straight up and around, just like so, so they float up and over. There is actually like a little hinge in here that you need to make sure gets pushed back. Oh, it actually, I think, goes in like that. Get them straight up, just like so, and then flip out. Make sure you flip out the combiner ports, just like so. Bring it down. That'll click into place. Do the same thing on this side. Little combiner port there, which of course has to be a little. It's the tightest joint on the whole thing, mind you. And again, it'll click right in. Now, out of the box, and the instructions kind of show that you go ahead and peg the back wings into place. Unfortunately, that is going to limit the arm articulation. So I leave them back just a little. So there you go, and we're going to pause right now. Cyclonus is in his torso mode, so I'm going to bring the limbs in. But I'm going to adjust the camera so we get this all in one shot, and I'll show you Galvatronus. Okay, so here's Cyclonus. Basically, got the two legs, riot gear and tread shock. They do combine much like the Stunticon cars in that they will drop in, just like so, past the leg. I do recommend the first couple times doing it facing you, just so you can see what you're doing. And that, of course, will secure the legs, just like so. Go ahead, press that button, since you are going to keep hitting it anyway, because why should anything be simple? And of course, the legs do have very nice ankle tilts. Come on in, attach the arms, just like so. I recommend holding the shoulders down as you do it, and when you move them, just because the connection there is not as tight as the other figures. But once you get this on, if you haven't already, press the button down. Make sure everything is clicked into place, or else it was going to fall apart, just like I was going to happen there. Oh, look at this. This doesn't want to sit for some reason. Okay. Now, as you can see, Galvatronus is not as stable or nice to play with as the other combiners that we've seen, as in Ultra B and Menasor. Do have its gun. On the inside here of the arms, of the hands here, there is a slot that it can tab into, just like so. And of course, you can close up the grip, makes it look more like a hand. And there you have Galvatronus all set, ready to go. I was really looking forward to this. Unfortunately, as you've seen, it's a little not as tight in the joints as it could be. Before we go, I'm going to show you one last thing, and we're going to get to that right now. Being the only other 5-robot combiner in the line besides Menasor, Galvatronus can actually swap limbs with Menasor. As you see here, I've gotten the Stunticons on it. It looks okay, but you really don't have the color matching as you do with the other limbs with Cyberwarp, Skyjack, Ryakir, and Treadshock. In fact, I think the arms look fine. It's the legs that stick out with that silverish gray. But you can do it, with Ultra B, because of how unique that combination is. It just doesn't work. So yeah, we'll pause here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. I wanted to like Galvatronus more than I actually do. But the looseness in the torso joints, as well as the looseness in the fins here that make up the hands, really sour me on the figure. Individually, the robots are fine for what they are, but the combined mode is just lacking compared to Ultra B and Menasor. I got this figure off of Amazon, and this is the only store in the United States that I can clearly say has the figure in stock, and you can buy it. You might get lucky finding it at retail. I'm pretty sure I have heard it's showing up there. Well, this is your old pal Chuck. For Galvatronus, we will see you next time.